Are we live yet? Oh, what's to talk about? Lots of stuff. Busy week. I'm finishing touches on the initial story selections for an anthology. That's kind of fun. That's Tales from a Talking Board. It'll be out around Halloween. I've got some great stories in hand at this point. Probably need to solicit a handful more. I'll likely do an open call a little bit later on this month. And so if you're inclined to writing a Ouija board or other divination device story, get it ready. Be ready to hit me up at a short notice. I want to talk about a couple of books before I get to the main thing I'm doing here. Also, it's warm in here, and here comes Eleanor. So, okay. Let's get comfortable. First thing is, hey, Raven's Table, Christine Morgan. It's out now. This is out in the world. People can read awesome Viking stories. And you know it's good stuff. And like I say on the back here, listen. The furious clangor of battle, the harrowing singing of steel, the desperate cries of wounded animals, the gasps of bleeding, dying men, the slow, deep breathing of terrible things. Trolls, giants, Draugr, Shih Tzus. Stop that. Waiting in the darkness, the wolf's wind howling, stalking like death itself. Come here. Up. Oh, okay. Hey, we have an Eleanor. Stalking like death itself. The carrion crows, avaricious and impatient, circling the battleground, the Raven's Table. Listen. The skald's voice low, canting, weaving tales of fate and heroism, battlery and revel, of gods and monsters, and of the women and men that stand against them, of stormy Scandinavian skies and settlements upon strange continents, of mead hall victories, funeral pyres, dragon-proud ships, and gold-laden tombs, of Ragnarok and Valhalla. For a decade, Christine Morgan's Viking stories have delighted readers and critics alike, standing apart from the anthologies they appeared in. Now, Word Horde brings you the Raven's Table, the first ever collection of Christine Morgan's Vikings, from the Barrowmaid to Arkheim's horror and beyond. These tales of adventure, fantasy, and horror will rouse your inner Viking. So yay! Christine Morgan, new collection out now. You guys want to read this. It is Viking awesomeness. Show you a couple of things I've just gotten here before we get to the main thing. Just scored an arc of Augustus Rose's debut, The Ready-Made Thief. It's a crime novel, art crime novel, and I'm looking forward to reading this because I read Augustus Rose's last debut. Yeah, something we bungled at Nightshade. Oh, so I'm hoping this is every bit as strong as what I have read, and I don't know if that ever found a home, but okay, Ellie's getting comfortable down there. Hey, get comfortable. Let's see, next thing to show you. Hey, I just picked up some field notes. I'm gonna this little Moleskine one with David Barbie's Bacon Fried Bastard sticker on the cover. When I finish this off, I'm moving to field notes. These are dots. So I'm looking forward to playing with these. But got to finish the previous notebook because, you know, compulsions. And this is what I'm reading right now. I'm kind of broken away from Powers of Darkness there. There's Powers of Darkness. Wait, Powers of Darkness, which is the Icelandic Dracula. Really enjoying it, but I seem to take days off between things. And yeah, again, enjoying, but it takes me a few days to get back to it. So this is Jon Padgett's new collection, and I'm reading this right now, and I'm about this far, about to hit the novella The Infusorium, but I've read that. So, get to show that off. But this is a joy and a delight in the creepiest possible ways. It is quite well written. The only negative I'm going to say is it is downright Ligotti-esque, which, as I think most of you feel, that's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, Padgett has his own voice. It's not a Ligotti pastiche, but it is very reminiscent of early Ligotti. A lot of the same sort of obsessions, puppets, voices, ventriloquism, that sort of thing. One of the cornerstone pieces of this is 20 simple steps to ventriloquism. And I'm going to read you just a little tiny bit of that. Actually, I'm gonna have some help reading a little tiny bit of that, because if I do this all by myself, it doesn't quite work right. So it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. So there's the camera. Okay. All right. Just look at the camera. There you go. Step 3. Your first sentence. The second part of the alphabet has 7 letters. B, F, M, P, V, W, and Y. If you try to pronounce these letters the same way you did the others, you will find you have to move your lips. So, for the time being, substitute another sound for those letters. For example, try this sentence. The bad boy destroyed the big jet by using his brain. Only with your mouth in the position described in step 1. Say, the bad boy destroyed the big jet by using his brain. Again, focus strictly on your technique, avoiding any other thoughts or perceptions you may have. Okay. So, again, its own voice, and in my own voice. This is the story that he opens up with, and it's short and it's cool, and I don't think Jon will mind if I read you this. This is called the Mindfulness of Horror practice. In this recording, I'm going to be leading you through all 4 stages of the Mindfulness of Horror practice. Closing your eyes. Now become aware of your environment, the air on your skin, the temperature in the room, any itches or irritations you might feel, any aches or pains within or without, and acknowledge the sounds around you, cars honking outside, the neighbors' music playing, the screeches of birds or children, any smells, perfumes, or bodily odors. Just become open to these sensations and experiences. Accept them, good or bad. And then you can begin to take your attention inward into your body, becoming aware of your feet, feeling the skin and veins, muscles and sinews, and finally the skeletal structure of your feet, the dead bones of your future self. Feel them becoming more solid than the transitory flesh gore that covers them. And the more awareness you can take into your skeleton feet, the more you can let go. Now, let that sensation spread from your skeleton feet up to your calf bones, thigh bones, pelvic bones, straight up through your spine, poised, balanced. Shoulder blades flexing, ribs and collarbones, the bones growing heavy down your arms, elbows straight through the tiniest finger bones, letting the top of your spine grow long, noticing that your skull is the only part of your skeleton that feels light. As if the rest of your head, hair, skin, eyes, cartilage, brain has disintegrated, leaving a dome filled only with the gaseous remains. remnants of your non-skeletal self. And then begin to experience your skeleton as a whole, scanning through it upright and open. And in the midst of all these experiences, notice a deep aching within your skeleton self, a throbbing hurt. Concentrate on that skeleton ache. Let it expand within its marrow. Oh. Become absorbed, become fascinated by the wellspring of discomfort you've discovered within yourself. Hi. This is the horror of the organism. And in the midst of all these experiences, notice your breathing, the physical sensations of your breathing, and you can let your awareness become absorbed, become fascinated by those sensations, letting your consciousness fill your breathing, and letting your breathing fill your consciousness, and then moving into the second stage of the practice, noticing your breath, counting 1, breathing in and out, 2, in and out, 3, in and out, and so on, until you get to 10. And once you've reached 10, starting again at 1, and whenever you realize that your mind has wandered, bring your awareness back into your breathing. Notice the awareness, becoming aware of itself, and with it a growing panic traveling through your body all the way up into your skull every time you breathe in. So every time that you breathe in, your mind is becoming more and more at one with panic, until every counted number becomes a testament to self-suffocation. This is the horror of the mind. And then moving into the third stage of the practice, you can let go of the counting and simply follow the flow of your panicked breathing as you continue to breathe in and out, beginning to focus on your panicked thoughts. Notice how they flail against the growing agony of the becoming within you. Your panic helping you to stay in awareness, becoming that awareness. Now imagine your every inhaled breath drawing black fog in, a killing toxin that exterminates those stray, redundant cognitions that writhe and jerk within the emptying hull of your mind. This is the horror of being. And now, moving into the last stage of the practice, you can finally stop breathing altogether and begin focusing more and more on less and less. You may begin to imagine you hear something like static, or even the roar of an airliner. You may feel lightheaded, like they're going to pass out. Ignore these feelings. They are normal. They indicate that you're coming into perfect sync with your empty skeleton body and your empty skeleton head, giving yourself a few moments to assimilate the effects of the practice, and you can begin to take your awareness into the outside world, becoming aware of the space around you and of your experiences of that space as hideous and alien within, without, as within. Accept as the days and nights go by that you are a walking skeleton, an ambulatory miracle of meat. New thoughts come, but they arrive from beyond the foam, beyond the foam, beyond the foamy sponge of your brain. Now, open your eyes. Anyway, that was a couple little bits from The Secret of Ventriloquism by Jon Padgett. This is published by Dunham's Manor Press. Unlike a lot of their books, short, sharp critique, unlike a lot of their books, you can actually get this one through most better bookstores and online locations. So, hey, you can get this one. Too many small presses, I think. You can't get squat anywhere except direct, and that makes it hard to get. So anyway, that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you growling and wanting to be up on my desk. I appreciate you liking my puppet friend, and there's a shout out to Gus Rose. I mean, really, I'm so looking forward to this, and so forward to seeing what kind of response it's getting. And if you haven't yet, get yourself a copy of The Raven's Table. Ask for it at your local bookstore or order it online. It's in all the major spots, so it's there. I'm Ross. This is Eleanor. That's a pile of books. Goodbye, bowl of mush and spoon. We'll talk to you soon.